Do you have well defined boundaries? Are you conscious of your boundaries? A boundary is defined as a limit that is deemed acceptable or unacceptable to an individual in interactions, thoughts, and behaviors. When we have well defined boundaries, we can establish those limits of how others will interact with us. Otherwise, what happens is our interactions with others are governed by how people are feeling, and then they project that onto us. An example of that would be your boss piling on extra work on you all the time. Maybe because you do not have a boundary there where you can refuse your boss saying that you have your own plans and you can only take up so much extra work. In relationship, it might reflect as you being the one who's always picking up the slack in the relationship. In friendships, it might occur as friends canceling on you the last minute or not honoring your time or other ways. So, if we do not have these well defined boundaries, others will try to stretch our limit of what is acceptable or unacceptable. It does not mean that everyone is out there to get you. It's more like we are all busy in our lives. So wherever we feel this opportunity, wherever we feel that someone is flexible, we just try to use that opportunity. It might not always come from a place of taking advantage of the other person. But why expose ourselves to the whims of the others? Let's come up with our own boundaries, our own limits, which tells the world that this is the minimum, this is the threshold that I need you to follow in when you are interacting with me. If it goes below this baseline, then I will not be honoring that interaction. It does not mean disrespecting others. It means respecting yourself where a certain behavior is not allowed. Another form of boundaries on the other spectrum is how we define our ceilings. So, a ceiling could be a thought pattern where you may think that this is the max I can do, this is the best that can happen for me, or you know, points when you start feeling it's too good to be true for me. So, in these scenarios, also, we kind of um, box ourselves in. Examples of this could be when there might be a promotion due at work, but we do not feel ourselves equipped to handle it. We might have thoughts like, I think the promotion will come with extra responsibilities and stress, and I might not be able to handle it. In terms of money, it could be something like, this is the max that I can have. If I have more than that, then maybe I will become um, egotistical, or I might become a corrupt person. Or in relationships, it could be, want a partner who meets all these criteria, but once it goes beyond that, if I feel that the partner is very charming, very nice, or very magnetic, I might have insecurities kick in, thinking, what are they hiding? Why are they trying to be so good to me? So, we also have these ceilings beyond which we do not want to go because we feel that something negative will impact us because it's too good to be true for me. And notice that these are not absolute truths, these apply to individuals in different scenarios according to their beliefs. There is no one size fits all. What is my definition of truth may not be the definition of truth for you. And we all have these examples in the external world. We know people or we know celebrities or people who are very influential, who have a lot of money, but they are very generous, very benevolent. So it's not that money corrupts people, it's just my ceiling of what I'm willing to allow in my reality. So, in order to have a full experience of life, we need to understand how we are defining our beliefs in terms of these boundaries, these minimum threshold that I would allow the world so that they see me where I'm at and they're not um, blowing up my fences. They are not walking all over me. That's my boundary. That's the basic minimum that I need from you. But at the same time, we also need to see the ceilings where we are limiting ourselves. Maybe we can do more in life, but because of these self sabotaging beliefs, we are not allowing ourselves that expansion. And that's where self destructive patterns, self sabotage kicks in, because the subconscious thinks that this is the max that is allowed for me. I am not worthy of more. I'm not good enough. So then we come up with um, these probably these we make up these beliefs, and then we come up with scenarios where we do not allow ourselves to go any further than a particular ceiling. So, a good idea would be to take stock of all these beliefs and patterns for yourself. See where you want to have more in life, but you uh, keep coming up against this ceiling. And also notice in interactions where you feel people treat you a certain way and you would like to be treated in a different manner. These define your boundaries. And depending on where we are in our um, growth as an individual, we try to stay within these boundaries. On one side, it's really good to have these limits in place so that when the world is meeting you, it is meeting you at a place where you are ready to meet it. And that is important for our survival, for our showing up in the world, our thriving. But at the same time, see where you're stopping yourself from growing. That's the ceiling. So it would be a good exercise for all of us to see where we are trying to maintain this homeostasis, where whenever we try to go up, something pulls us down, or whenever the world is trying to encroach upon our beliefs, how we make sure that we maintain this boundary and not let others um, take advantage of us or not respect our beliefs. So a good way to recognize is to see when we feel um, disrespected, or when we feel um, not validated, or when we feel unacceptable in situations. Those might be the scenarios where we need to define consistent and proper boundaries. Also, be consistent with your boundaries. We should not be enforcing boundaries in some scenarios and not in the others, because that sends a confusing signal to the external environment. So be consistent with the boundaries. In that case, people know when they are interacting with you that this is the kind of behavior that you will allow, and these are your values and beliefs, and you're not willing to compromise on them. So come up with those non-negotiables. And then on the other side, about the ceiling, see when it becomes too good to be true for you. When you start pulling yourself down, shrinking, kind of shrinking, when you feel you're getting out of your comfort zone. So that will tell you where your ceilings are. And when we have a good stock of these boundaries for us, then we can see where we are self sabotaging or where we are not able to represent ourselves fully in the way that we would like, and then we can consciously take steps. And these are blind spots. When we know what we are fighting against, then we can come up with strategies. So next time you want to do something big, but then this thing um, tells you, your voice in the head, that this is too good to be true for you, then understand it's just a belief, it's just a ceiling. And you can talk to it, you can calm that voice down, come up with strategies, and see that no, that's not true. It's not true for everyone. There are no absolute truths. So if others can do it, you can also do it. So see how we can avoid these blind spots and then become more as an individual and achieve more results that we want.